Good morning. This is March 22, 2020. And since you cannot be with me at the Sunshine Lecture, I am recording it. And previous to all of the present state, we had decided to talk about the alpha state. And so this is a very important part now of the experience that we are having throughout this world. And so today's lecture will be about the alpha state. But we'll start with prayer. O Lord, may your hand lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. May all be happy. May all be peaceful. May all be enlightened and cultured. May all attain perfection. May peace be established in the three bodies of man. May peace be established in the three worlds. May peace be established everywhere. May truth be our religion. May service be our worship. May knowledge be our breath. May world be our family. May yoga and meditation be our way. May our eyes see noble and happy and noble things. May our ears hear happy and truthful words. May our tongues be sweet and truthful. May our bodies be divine instruments. May noble thoughts come to us from all corners of the universe. May we never leave God. May God never leave us. Om, peace and love. Om, peace and health. Om, peace and enlightenment. Our mind always goes either to the past or the future. And fear is a thought form of the future. Right now, everyone is steeped in this fear. It is a thought form, and it is the future thought form. The only time that we can make a difference is in the now moment. The only time we can heal our body, mind, emotions is in the now moment. We are usually living in our past. We are expecting things to be as the past and our reactions to the past. And we are not in the now moment. And this is why I have always said that the only time you can make change and where your life will change is in the now moment, which we call meditation. But there is also a wonderful state we can be in. It's called the alpha state, in which you are in the now moment, but awake and alert. And this is the kind of state you would like your whole body to be into, and be in that state all day long. Because it is in that state that we can work. It is in that alpha state that we can think. It is in that alpha state where we can be creative. It is in that alpha state where we can make change. So I'd like you to really seriously think about this. Stress. Stress is part of our sympathetic nervous system. And stress is what we are programmed to by the government, by the media. We are programmed for stress. When we are in stress, we become very good consumers. So it has become something that is being promoted. But the stress response is killing our immune system. Because the only time the body can go into growth and restore is when it is in the parasympathetic nervous system. And when we go into an alpha state, we are automatically bringing about that brainwave that brings us into a parasympathetic nervous system. When is alpha brainwaves, when are they available to you? When you have quiet flowing thoughts, when you're in a meditative state, when you are consciously connected with others. Daily habits of behaviors, of thought process, have the ability to change the mental, the architecture of our brain. So understand that being in stress mode has changed our brain. And it's going to take time for us to be able to remanufacture our brain. But know this, that everyone is capable of doing this. You just have to take the time out to do it. It is so important to take the time out. And you will find that your mind will become happier when you do. So today I'm going to go through some various changes that we can do to get an alpha state. But let's talk about brain waves. So you probably can't see it from that far away, but we have most of the time when we are moment alert and consciousness, we're in the beta state. Now the beta state is 14 to 30 hertz per second. And our mind is firing very fast. In an alpha state, it is 9 to 13 hertz per second. This is where we are physically, mentally relaxed and awake. Delta is when you go into deep sleep and we have no bodily awareness. Some states of meditation will go into delta. Then the deepest meditation is in theta, which is below from 4 to 8 hertz. And dreams, sleep, REM sleep. So today we're going to talk about alpha, which should be our day-to-day way of being. The sympathetic nervous system was designed for you to run when there is a danger. And the body then creates chemicals in the body for us to respond and be physically able to do phenomenal things. The body, phenomenal things, like a mother lifting a whole car because a child is underneath it. And that does not come from the physical body only, because we have more than the physical body in our bodily systems. We have the physical body, we have the mental body, we have the emotional body, and we have the etheric body. And all of them are connected to us at all times. And we cannot separate them. So when we want to work with our physical system, we must work in all of those bodies. But we can start by taking our life into an alpha brainwave, or being dominant in our day-to-day activity in alpha. And that is quiet, where the mind gets quiet. And so I'm going to give you well, let's continue. Alpha is characterized by clear-headed, present, and fully in the moment. Alpha waves create a sense of peace, well-being in your mind and body. When people are in this state, they seem to exude charisma. Their mind is focused only on the here and now. This is also where a state of athletes and other performers are at their very best. And I want all of us to be at our very best. And that we can be when we are in an alpha state. Okay? Or it is usually called to be in the zone, or to be in the flow state, or be into intuition. When your mind is free from all the waves that are constantly running all over the place, then it can perform in peak performance. So here is very important. How do we create this alpha state? I want to first talk about the parasympathetic nervous system. And if we start with that and then use the alpha state exercises, we will be more effective. Let's talk about your physical body. You have a vagus nerve. The reason it is called vagus because it runs vagrant all throughout the whole body. It starts at the brainstem and it goes through the whole body. Now this vagus nerve, when stimulated properly, creates the parasympathetic nervous system. And how do we stimulate this vagus nerve? Well, yoga, which we are, mindfulness, meditation, loving kindness, but most importantly, a breathing, a long inhalation and a double long exhalation. So let's try that. Inhale. And now exhale twice as long as you inhaled. Again, inhale deeply. Exhale twice as long as you inhaled. Doesn't that calm you down immediately? It is so simple, but we forget to do it when we're stressed. That's the whole problem. But if we keep practicing this, even in the time we're not stressed, then the body remembers it and forces us to do so when we are stressed. Usually when we're stressed, our breath is hyperventilating. So quieting your breath down is the key to stimulating the vagus nerve. Another one, and in our yoga center, and we chant Om. Any chanting, humming, singing stimulates the vagus nerve. And that's why chanting has become so important in spiritual practice. Because when our mind is quiet, then we can see the beauty within us. So I'm going to teach you a way to chant Om. There are several ways of chanting Om. The most prominent way we chant Om is when we take the Om from the back of the mouth, Ah, and roll it forward and end it with an M. And it will sound almost like A-U-M. Om. And you can try it. Om. And what happens is that the palate gets activated. You can feel the energy in the palate, and that goes all the way to the head, and that stimulates the mind to become quiet. And this is the Om that we use prior to meditation. But I'm going to teach you an Om that can be used to activate your vagus nerve. And that's an Om that comes from the depth of your stomach, so that it vibrates the entire system into relaxation. And that is when you take a deep breath in and you make your mouth in an O, O, O-M. So you take a deep breath in, or, the way my guru taught it, imagine there is a tube inside of your body. And that tube is filling with the sound of Om. And you start at the base of the spine, and you fill it with Om. But that can only happen if you have the mouth in an O. Ah is a sound that comes when the mouth is not round. The sound comes from the throat. When the mouth is round, O, it comes from inside. So make your mouth form an O. And take a deep breath in, close your eyes, and imagine that sound vibration rising up from the base of your spine. And when it comes to the top of your head, your Anya chakra, there you come into the M and feel it vibrating up here. So you feel it vibrating all the way up. And when that happens, your entire vagus nerve relaxes. So let's try that one more time. And now let your body relax. And the body feels more peaceful, more relaxed. And that's one way to work with the vagus nerve to create an alpha state within you. But alpha state is your mental state. But this is to create the relaxation in the physical body so that your mental state can go into an alpha state more readily. Now, yogis have practiced for years coming into an alpha state. And there are some very simple techniques that we use, that everyone can use. And one of the simplest techniques is a 3-2-1. And this is a little bit more recent than the ancient yogis, but I find it extremely helpful and wonderful for children to create. And since we're all children really in our hearts, this would be a wonderful exercise to do. So imagine a ball of light coming from right above your head, about 8 inches above your head. And imagine that light coming down through the crown chakra into this chakra as you inhale. And as you exhale, I'll tell you what to think. And this is all done silently. And I want you to participate with me because I want you to feel it. So imagine this wonderful globe, light, small light globe. Now take a deep breath in and feel that wonderful essence, globe essence, coming through the crown chakra, through this into the center of your brain. It's called the Anya chakra as you inhale. And exhale, mentally repeat the word 3. Now do that again. Inhale. Feel it coming in. Feel it going to the center of your eye. And as you exhale, mentally repeat the word 3. One more time. Inhale. Bring it to the crown. Bring it through the center of your brain. Exhale. 3. Now let's take another breath in. Bring it through the crown, bring it through the center of the brain, and all the way to the throat. And exhale the word 2. Again, take a deep breath in. Bring it through. Feel it coming down to the throat. And exhale the word 2. Come, bring that hand through. Bring it to the throat. Exhale 2. And now take another deep breath in. Go through the crown. Go through the center of the head. Go through the throat. And come to the heart center. And exhale the word 1. Again, inhale. All the way to the heart center. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 1. And now just sit. What is your mind doing? Isn't that amazing? Your mind is doing nothing. It is amazing. I've had people come to me and said, I never knew what a non-working mind felt like. It's the first time I ever had my mind quiet. Yes, is that not simple? This can be taught to anyone. It is so simple. It requires practice. If your mind isn't quiet after this, it's because you were looking for something. No, just do it sincerely at this moment. Another wonderful technique that yogis use, I want to keep this lecture quick. Another wonderful technique is, which my guru, Ma Yogashakti, has written a book about, techniques of yoga, is the japa japa. A japa japa is merging your breath and your mind. It's a very powerful technique, extremely powerful technique. And this is what it is like. It is you take an inhalation, you feel the breath sliding up your nose to the center of your eyebrows, which is your, and then coming back down and coming about an inch past the tip of your nose. So inhale, keep your eyes closed, take an inhalation, and then take an exhalation. Not an exaggerated, but a full breath. Breathe fully, not exaggerated. So inhale and exhale. Now listen to the breath. When you inhale, the breath sounds like so, S-O. So you mentally repeat the word so for the length of the breath. So inhale, so. Exhale, repeat the word hum, H-A-M, for the length of the breath, because that's what this sounds like. This is all mental. So three things are happening here. You're breathing, you're listening, and you're thinking. The mind itself cannot stay quiet. The mind needs something to do. It can only stay quiet for a very short duration of time. So, in this exercise, you're keeping the mind quiet by giving it only two things to do. A couple of things to do: to listen to the breath and to repeat so as you inhale, hum as you exhale. So let's try that again. So inhale, so as you inhale, hum as you exhale. And you see how quiet your mind is, ready to meditate, or ready to think, or ready to tackle a problem. When the mind is running all over the place, we cannot tackle problems. We cannot really make changes because we don't know where to go. And it's a disturbing mind. But let's quiet the mind down so that we can make proper decisions and create a proper environment for us to think. The third one is Shambhavi Mudra. I know that there are other teachers that are teaching Shambhavi Mudra, but the initial Shambhavi Mudra is fixing your eyes to look at the center between the eyebrows. Not an exaggerated focus, but a very gentle focus. So when you put your eyes to the center of your eyebrows, very relaxed, but looking in that direction. Just do it with me. Now, what is your mind doing? Open your eyes. Look at the center between your eyebrows. What is your mind doing? It's not. It can't. This is called Shambhavi Mudra. This is when we start looking, this is where we start looking into our meditation or understanding ourselves. Now, when you look at many paintings of Buddha, you will see that his eyes are half open and he's looking inward. That is a very ancient technique. So take your eyes, look up, look at the space between your eyebrows very gently, and now very slowly begin to close the eyelids. And this is one way to get yourself into meditation. Again, try it. And gently close the eyelids. They might not even close all the way. These are ways to get us into an alpha state. When your mind is quiet and is concentrated, very, very strongly concentrated, it is in an alpha state. Everybody has been in it. It's a meditative state. It's a now state. It's a now state. It is a state where we become suspended in the now moment, when we are not thinking of the past and we're not looking at the future. And that is a concentrated state. And any time you are absolutely concentrated without thinking of anything else, time flies by. And you've been there. Have you ever experienced this? You were so concentrated, you forgot that you were hungry. And when somebody walked into the room, you jumped up because you weren't there in the room. You were so concentrated on what you were doing. That is an alpha state. And it is a state that we should be in all day long. Because in the now moment is the only time where our body can go into growth and repair. When our mind is in the now moment, the body can go into growth and repair. Otherwise, we are forcing the body to stay in the past or with fear in the future. And remember, every cell in your brain has neurotransmitters. Every cell in your body has neurotransmitters. And finally, Candace Pert in the 1980s, the neuroscientist, proved to us that whatever we are thinking, every cell in our body knows. So it responds to our thoughts. And our immune system responds to our cells. So we are depleting our immune system when we are thinking negative thoughts because they are of fear and they're of contraction rather than expansion and rather than growth and repair. So it is vitally important that we stay in the now moment because that is the only time the body will come into growth and repair. Otherwise, it's in tension, it's contracting, it's getting ready to fight, and there are no obstacles really. Fear is a perceived. Yes, the obstacle when it comes to you, if a tiger is attacking you, please don't stay in an alpha state. Okay? Yes, but during the day, nothing is attacking you. You cannot think straight. The mind becomes confused when there's perceived fear. And even if there is something that we have to think about, we cannot make the right decisions if we are in the fight and flight mode, in the fear state. And if that is an invisible, or if there is a problem that is coming our way, the most important part for us is to be in an active state of seeing the truthfulness and seeing what we need to do in order to correct it or in order for us to be protected from it. And so I hope that some of these things will help you. So number one that I have discussed this morning was activate your parasympathetic or nervous system through your vagus nerve. And that will settle the body down immediately. The most wonderful way is chanting Om. If you sat here and chanted Om for 3 minutes, you'd be stoned. So you don't need drugs. Or hum, or dance, or be happy. Those are all ways. Then I taught you the Soham mantra, the ajapa japa. So as you inhale, hum as you exhale. It's a wonderful technique to use if you want to talk, if you want to go into meditation. It's a wonderful technique to use before you do your yoga practice so that your body is relaxed, your mind is relaxed, and your practice takes the maximum benefit. And then I taught you Shambhavi Mudra. Again, this is wonderful to utilize when we're going into relaxation or when we want to make some final decisions, when our mind needs to be clear to make proper decisions. And the most fun one is the 3-2-1. And that brings your mind into a quiet state. And that you can practice with your kids and with other family members in order to understand what it means for the mind to be quiet. And then one more thing I would like to discuss with you. And that is what the new scientists are saying, heart and brain coherence. the brain was always supposed to work in coordination with the heart. Always. When we bring the heart into what we call a consciousness or an awareness, then we can begin to self-regulate. This means developing the ability to generate emotions from within. And remember, I talked to you that we have the physical body, we have the mental body, we have the emotional body, and the etheric body. And the emotional body is the one that has the most influence upon us. If the emotional body is not taken care of, it will come down into the physical body. If that's not the mental body, sorry. And if that's not taken care of in the mental body, it will express itself in the physical body in some discordant energy of some sort. But when we have heart and brain coherence, and what do we mean by that? Where the heart is activated. If you have been studying with me, I have told you for many, many years, every morning, wake up and write your gratitude list. Not think it, but write it. Because that creates heart and mind coherence. And when the heart and mind coherence is there, then we can create new realities. New realities are not created in our physical body unless all bodies are together. And the most powerful of all the bodies is your emotional body. And so, when you have gratitude, when you have love, when you have joy, when all of those elevating emotions are within your physical form, it is at that time that the body will change and that the mind will change and your thought process will change. So this is what they now call heart and brain coherence. And what we've been saying for years, do your gratitude list. And I can guarantee, and I've told you this for at least the last 20 years, I can guarantee that if you do that every single day without fail, your life will change for the better. It is a simple technique. Wake up in the morning, take out a pen and paper, and write it down. And don't think that you can do it in your head. And of course, what will happen is you will do it 2 or 3 days, and then you'll go, I don't have time, I overslept. That is self-sabotage. Do you really want to feel better? Do you really want to make changes? This would be my next question to you. Because if you're not doing it, that means you are hindering yourself. If you are not practicing some of the things that I'm teaching you today, that means you are hindering yourself. And it's called self-sabotage. So take the time out, prepare, and start with that gratitude list and practice some of these things that I have given you today. And with that, we will close, and I will Om you home. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Namaste.